Tonight, we're stepping into the quiet corners of our daily lives. Places so ordinary, really, so familiar.
Yeah, they just fade into the background, don't they?
Exactly. The convenience store, the gas station down the street,
Yeah.
maybe the local liquor shop. We visit them without a second thought. It's just routine.
Completely mundane.
But what if these everyday spots, these places we think are, safe havens, can just abruptly transform?
Into stages for something truly chilling.
Terrifying, yeah. And profoundly tragic events. We've gathered some really unsettling accounts tonight. Tales from, behind the counter, across the parking lot. They reveal this dark underbelly that's lurking just beneath the surface of the ordinary.
It's quite a stark reminder, isn't it? That line between the commonplace and the horrific can be incredibly thin.
They really can.
And these aren't just statistics or news reports, they're stories recounted by people who actually lived through them.
Right.
And they shed light not just on the acts themselves, but the psychological impact, on the witnesses, the survivors. It's profound.
Yeah, it stays with them.
Absolutely. These accounts might make you question the safety of even the most familiar spaces.
They definitely will. So prepare yourself, because we're about to share some stories that, they'll stay with you. We're pulling back the curtain on some unsettling truths hidden right there in plain sight.
Let's get into it.
Okay, first up we have Gerald, a young man. Took a job at his favorite convenience store, pretty standard stuff.
What a lot of young people do.
Exactly. He'd seen all sorts of characters, the usual late night crowd, nothing too out of the ordinary. But then one quiet Saturday night, it was about an hour before closing.
Okay.
Something just truly horrifying unfolded right in front of him. An older couple, they were regulars, apparently came in for 13 years.
Wow, long time.
Yeah, and they suddenly just erupted into this violent argument. Gerald was thinking, okay, maybe I should step in, try to calm things down.
Right, instinct.
But before he could even move, the man, just in this sudden fit of rage, he grabbed a quart bottle of cheap beer, and he began striking the woman's head with it repeatedly. Gerald counted 5 or 6 brutal strikes. The sound, he said, just echoed in the store. It was silent otherwise.
Horrifying.
The woman just dropped, motionless. Blood started dripping from her ears, forming this awful pool around her head. Gerald's instincts finally kicked in. He ran towards them, but the man just bolted, fled into the darkness.
And the woman?
Paramedics got there. She was technically alive, but brain dead. Her family, eventually, they had to make that heartbreaking decision to let her pass.
So tragic. What about the assailant?
He was caught later. But here's the kicker. Doctors suggested years of heavy alcohol abuse might have just wiped his memory of the event.
So he might not even remember doing it.
That's what they suggested. And Gerald was left grappling with that. This idea that someone could do something so heinous and maybe evade the full weight of justice because their own mind was essentially destroyed.
Wow. That raises such a difficult question, doesn't it? When the perpetrator's mind can't process or recall the act, what does justice even mean then?
Right.
For the victim's family, for Gerald, who has to live with seeing that, it really shows the complex, often unsatisfying intersection of crime, mental state, and the law.
Definitely. Okay, next we delved into a really chilling account. This one's from a woman whose aunt shared it. Happened back in the mid-'80s.
Okay.
Her roommate had just gotten a job at a liquor store somewhere in the Midwest. One night, just before they were about to close up.
Always seems to be near closing time.
Isn't it just? The doors burst open.
Yeah.
2 armed men, guns drawn. They immediately herded the staff, terrified, into a walk-in cooler.
Nightmare scenario.
Totally. They demanded access to the store's safe.
Standard robbery procedure, I suppose,
Yeah.
but terrifying.
But what happened next? It just defies logic. The roommate, the one whose aunt told the story, in this moment of extreme stress, nobody understands why.
Yeah.
She lied.
Lied about what?
She told the robbers that only the day manager had the key to the safe, and he wasn't there.
But he was.
He was in the cooler with them, trying to comfort his girlfriend who'd just been pistol whipped.
Oh my God. Why would she say that?
Nobody knows. Maybe panic.
Yeah.
She then offered them the cash from the register, which was only about $30.
$30.
The men were enraged, by the small amount, the delay, the lie.
Yeah.
They started talking amongst themselves.
Oh.
And then they came back to the cooler. The leader just opened fire, emptied his gun into the group trapped inside.
No.
His accomplice joined in, just showering them with bullets.
Over $30.
It ended up being $32.53. 5 innocent people lost their lives for that.
Unbelievable. Any survivors?
1. The day manager, Ben. He was hit at least 4 times, apparently tried to shield his girlfriend. It didn't work.
Devastating.
He woke up 9 hours later, surrounded by the bodies of his friends, his girlfriend, and the roommate, whose lie, for whatever reason, set it all off.
That is just shattering. It really shows how extreme pressure can lead to these unforeseen and just devastating actions.
Yeah.
It's such a stark reminder of how fragile life is, facing that kind of senseless violence. And the trauma for Ben, the survivor, I mean, living with that.
He saw a psychologist for years, apparently.
Can only imagine. You have to wonder if you ever truly recover from seeing something like that.
Hard to see how you could.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Yeah.
From that kind of explosive violence to something more insidious, a creeping terror.
Okay.
This is from a night manager at one of those big national convenience store chains.
Yeah.
For 5 years, she said, her shifts were totally uneventful, just quiet nights.
The usual.
Until this one man started frequenting the store. His visits got more and more frequent. And unsettling.
How so?
She said he'd always wait until she was alone. He'd start with small talk, but then it escalated. Personal questions. Asked her out multiple times.
Okay, getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, and she always rejected him. Kindly, she said. But it seemed to just fuel his anger. She could see it, barely concealed.
That's scary.
She got frightened. Started hiding in the office when he came in. He even asked a male colleague to sort of intervene, maybe say something.
It's a move. What did he say?
He warned her. Said the guy had serious anger issues and she should watch her back.
Chilling.
After that, the man stopped coming in during her shifts. But the terror wasn't over.
Oh.
She started catching glimpses of him outside,
Oh.
in the parking lot, standing in the shadows, just outside the lamplight, just watching.
Oh, that's terrifying. Pure psychological torment.
Totally.
Yeah.
She called the police, but, what could they do? There was no direct threat.
Right, the classic stalker scenario problem. Their hands are often tied until something actually happens.
Exactly. It all culminated one night after closing. She saw his shadow again, right outside the glare of the lamp, just there.
My heart's pounding just hearing this.
She called 911 again. Police responded really quickly this time, but he was gone. Vanished.
Of course.
2 weeks later, she heard the news. Her stalker. He had ended his own life.
Wow. That's a heavy ending.
Yeah.
It really illustrates the psychological toll of prolonged stalking, doesn't it? That feeling of helplessness, knowing someone's watching, but the system can't act yet.
Right.
And her feelings afterwards. Relief, obviously, but mixed with this strange sadness that speaks volumes about how complex these experiences are.
It really does. It's like the threat just evaporated, but in such a tragic way.
Yeah, a very difficult resolution.
Okay, our next story it's deeply poignant. Shared by someone remembering their brother Brian.
Okay.
Brian was apparently brilliant. So smart they nicknamed him Brain in middle school. But his life took a hard turn in college. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Ah, that's tough. A really challenging diagnosis.
Yeah, it marked the start of a long, difficult battle with mental illness for him and his family.
I can imagine.
After years of struggle, trying different meds, finally a new one brought some stability. And Brian found joy, some purpose, working at a convenience store down the street.
That's good to hear. A bit of normalcy.
Yeah, it was part of an employment program for people with mental illnesses. For 2.5 years, his life found this semblance of normalcy. He loved the job, was happy providing for himself again.
That stability is so crucial.
But then, the store closed down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it sent him spiraling. Right back into homelessness, drug abuse, his old habits. He just disappeared.
Heartbreaking.
Sparked this frantic search by his family. His mother was consumed by worry. She actually developed cancer and died 5 years after he disappeared.
Oh, that's awful.
His sibling believes the constant anxiety just contributed to her illness.
That kind of stress takes a terrible toll. It's a secondary victimization in a way.
Yeah. So 7 years after Brian went missing, a shocking discovery was made.
Okay.
The old convenience store, the one that had closed, the place he'd found that brief peace. It was being cleaned out finally.
Right.
Hidden beneath, collapsed ceiling tiles and insulation, back in a storage room. They found a body.
Don't tell me.
DNA test confirmed it. It was Brian.
Oh, wow. In the very place.
Yeah. They found drug paraphernalia nearby. The strongest theory is an overdose. Whether it was intentional or accidental,
Yeah.
nobody knows.
That is just Such a tragic narrative. It highlights the devastating ripple effect of severe mental illness on the person, the family, the grief that just stretches on.
It's immense.
And the cruel irony of finding him there in the one place that offered him some stability.
Yeah.
It's incredibly moving.
It really is.
Makes you wonder how many stories like Brian's are out there, hitting in plain sight, families just left wondering for years.
So many, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, another account now. This one takes us to a family-owned gas station.
Right.
The narrator shares this devastating story about Steve, an employee who wasn't just staff, he was like family.
Worked there a long time.
Over a decade. A really trusted, beloved figure. Apparently, he even taught the narrator's dad how to run the place when they bought it.
Wow, really part of the fabric of the place?
Definitely. So one day, again, just before closing,
Yeah.
a robber comes in. Steve had apparently just done a cash drop a few minutes before, so all he had in the till was like nothing. A single 20, a 5, and 5 ones. $30 again.
Oh,
The
literal.
robber, obviously expecting more, just became enraged. Started screaming at Steve.
Oh, God.
Steve tried to calm him down. The narrator watched the surveillance footage later, could read his lips. His last words were, "Oh, God, please don't do it. You don't have to."
And he did it anyway.
Shot him 5 times. The robber fled. Steve's body wasn't found for hours.
Oh, no.
Until like 1:17 a.m. when a police officer stopped because the lights were still on and the store should have been closed.
Just awful. Left there alone.
The narrator describes watching that footage. The agony of seeing someone you care about killed over basically nothing. And then the feeling later when the shooter was identified.
How did they find him?
The video got his face clearly, and someone snitched, apparently heard him complaining about how little money he got.
Wow.
So it was this mix of relief, but also just this raw thirst for vengeance.
That's completely understandable. The sheer senselessness of it. Taking a life for pocket change. It's a chilling reminder of how quickly greed and rage can just explode into irreversible tragedy.
Absolutely.
And for the narrator, having to watch that footage, unable to intervene, and then grappling with grief, relief, revenge, it speaks to those deep psychological wounds that these crimes leave on everyone connected.
Yeah, it's a heavy burden. Okay, we also heard about a college student and her friend Nina, a much more common scenario maybe that just escalated horribly.
Okay, boy. Watch it.
Just a casual trip to a convenience store, grabbing snacks and beer, college stuff.
Sure.
As they were leaving, walking through the parking lot, a group of men started making crude remarks. The narrator said she usually just laughed that stuff off. They weren't being super mean, just annoying guys.
Right, happens all the time, unfortunately.
But Nina, her friend, wasn't having it that day. She turned around, yelled F off, and gave them the middle finger.
Uh-oh. That can flip a switch sometimes.
It did. Instantly. Those kind of playful, stupid taunts turned into furious, aggressive pursuit. The men started chasing them.
Seriously, chasing them.
Yeah. The narrator was terrified. They both ran like hell back to their apartment nearby, managed to get inside, slammed the deadbolt just as the men reached the door.
Wow, close call.
They were pounding on the door, yelling curses. It was terrifying.
I bet. What did they do?
Their neighbor, Alec, heard the commotion, described as a big dude, apparently also someone they bought weed from sometimes.
Okay.
He came out, bravely intervened, yelled at the guys like, "What's your problem?" Tried to de-escalate.
Heroic, but dangerous.
Extremely.
Right.
His heroism was met with just brutal violence. All 3 men jumped him, beat him unconscious, kicked him repeatedly while he was down.
Oh my God, over a yelled insult.
Seems like it. Nina was watching through the peephole, called 911, then she yelled through the door that the cops were coming. That finally scared them off.
Thank God. How was Alec?
They found him with a faint pulse, rushed him to the hospital. He survived, thankfully, but was left with lasting sight memory issues, like problems with visual recall.
Still, lucky to be alive after a beating like that.
Absolutely. The whole thing just underscores how fast minor confrontations can spiral completely out of control into life-threatening situations.
Definitely.
And the courage of someone like Alec just stepping in.
Yeah, incredible bravery, but also a stark reminder of the potential cost. It really highlights the unpredictable nature of aggression. A seemingly minor exchange ignites this terrifying chain of events.
It makes you think twice about engaging, doesn't it?
It does. It leaves you wondering about that thin, dangerous line between standing up for yourself or others and accidentally escalating something into a potentially fatal situation. Very tricky.
Very. Okay, our final account tonight, this comes from a young man who was basically forced into working at this chaotic gas station by his father.
Forced into it.
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't want to be there. His time there was marked by just unruly coworkers and their friends. They constantly hung around.
Waitering.
Big time. Like upwards of 20 people sometimes, parking right in front of the store, blocking pumps, blasting loud music, creating this loud, disruptive, and ultimately dangerous environment.
Sounds like a nightmare workplace. And potentially unsafe.
Totally. And the chaos reached this deadly peak. One of his coworkers' friends, this guy, had a violent beef going with a local gang member.
Okay, trouble brewing.
Yeah, apparently it started small, but it escalated badly, to the point where the gang member's cousin had ended up hospitalized because of this guy.
So serious bad blood.
Very. And one day, this friend, the target, was spotted hanging out in the gas station parking lot with the usual crowd.
And the gang member saw him.
Or someone told him. A gunfight erupted right there in the parking lot. Chaos.
Oh, God. Innocent people around.
Lots in the crossfire.
Yeah.
2 of the coworkers' female friends were killed. One was heard begging paramedics not to let her die. 3 innocent bystanders got hit too, including the narrator himself. He got a graze to the knee and took a direct hit to the shin.
He got shot.
Yeah, and the intended target, the guy with the beef,
What happened to...
miraculously, completely unharmed, walked away without a scratch.
That is just unreal. The randomness of it all.
Totally. The narrator was disgusted by the violence, the whole scene, and then the owner refused to cover his medical bills for the gunshot wound.
What? After getting shot at work.
Yep. So he quit. Said he'd rather work in the sewers. Vowed never to return to a place like that.
Can't blame him one bit. This final story really lays bare the sheer unpredictability and volatility of certain environments, doesn't it?
It really does.
Where personal feuds can just explode into public tragedies, and it doesn't matter who you are, you can get caught in the middle.
Right place, wrong time.
Exactly. It paints such a stark picture of that line between personal safety and just circumstance. Sometimes the only way to avoid the danger is to recognize it and just walk away. Remove yourself from the situation, no matter the cost.
Absolutely. Get out while you can.
Yeah.
So these stories, I mean, they aren't just stories, are they? They're these stark reminders, even in the most familiar, unassuming places. Profound human dramas, horrors, tragedies. They can just unfold in an instant.
Yeah.
They really compel you to maybe look a little closer next time, to think about the lives behind the counter, and the hidden dangers that might exist just a few steps from your everyday routine.
Indeed. They really leave you with a haunting thought, I think.
What's that?
What untold stories might be unfolding right now in the very places you visit most often without a second thought? It's a chilling reminder of that unexpected darkness that can surface anywhere, anytime.
It truly is. Well, thank you for joining us on this pretty intense deep dive into these unsettling accounts.
Thanks for having me navigate these difficult stories.
If these stories resonated with you, maybe made you think, and you want to hear more tales that make you question, well, everything, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docx.
Your support really does help us bring more of these captivating and sometimes terrifying stories to light.
It does. Until next time, please stay safe out there, and remember to look over your shoulder.